Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man istanna bi sunnatihi ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Before we start today's session, we'll just want to talk about, because we put an announcement in the masjid group in Viber, but I'm just letting you guys know that, inshallah ta'ala, next Thursday we'll have a quiz again about week 15, 16 and 17, and we have a printout of the study material here. I think we have 10-15 copies here, so brother, you can distribute whoever wants to take, and I think some brother took yesterday. So if you already have, leave it for the other brothers, and if you don't, you can take it. Now inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue with week 18, and we'll continue from ayah 33 to 245. Before we start, just a quick review about what we did last week. So last week we talked about some ayahs which is related to the divorce, and before the divorce we talked about an ayah about the intimacy between husband and wife during the time of the menstrual cycle, and also we talked about the different ways that Allah mentioned the ayah about the divorce, that how divorce is it is halal for our Islamic Sharia, but it is mostly discouraged, and what happened, how you should give talaq, and also if you give talaq, what you should do in getting the wife back in first two way, or if you are completely done with the relationship, what you do after that. So today actually this ayah still continue, the few more ayahs actually, at least 8-7 ayahs still continue in that regard. So the first ayah here we're talking about that we started with the ayah last week, if you remember, that Allah commanded us not to get married with a mushrik woman. And Allah said that a mushrik woman is worse than a slave girl. Then also Allah said even for the family, even everybody likes a lady that who is not worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is a mushrik, even if everybody likes, but this is not good for you, they will take you to Jahannam. So after that one, Allah talked about the separation between husband and wife. That if there is there's some argument or something, it is not talaq, they are just living apart, and it is only allowed for 4 months. We talked about that, and then Allah went to the divorce. And now this is the ayah, actually Allah talk about a divorce happening in a family, and the lady has, the couple has a child. So what's going to happen? And the child is very too young, and is still breastfeeding. So Allah is saying that it is allowed, and it is actually commanded basically that you should breastfeed your child for 2 years. That's all I mentioned here, that for 2 years. And in that 2 years, all the expenses, because suppose the divorce happened in the first year or something, so still 1 year remaining. So that 1 year, the husband is liable to take the responsibility of the food and food, accommodation, everything for the mother. Although they have an argument and they are going on the divorce, and they know that they are getting separated, but because of the child, she is allowed to stay there, and she can feed the child, and also the husband is responsible to do all the taking care of the wife still at that time, because in Islamic way most of the time the custody goes to the father. Father is in the custody of the child, but since the lady, the wife, the mother is taking care of the child, the husband is responsible for all her expenses. And also Allah is saying that but if they mutually come to a consent that okay, now we are both happy that our child is he's not 2 years old, but still we can do weaning. Weaning means not breastfeeding anymore, so you give external food like the food for the kids, not the mother's milk. So if they both agree, there's no sin on them, so you can go ahead with this one. And also Allah is saying that if both parents, father and mother, agreed that that's fine, we will hire another lady who will be a foster mother basically, and she can suckle the baby. At that time also it is allowed for both of them, and at the end Allah is saying that Allah is seeing what you do. So in every ayah of these things Allah is talking about that Allah is seeing what you're doing, Allah knows what's in your heart. Because these rulings, people can play a lot of things with the rules, and that's what Allah mentioned in the previous ayah that if you don't make joke of Allah's ayah. That's what Allah said. Every ayah finishing, Allah is saying yattaqullah, fear Allah, or Allah is Samiun Basir. Allah is looking at everything that you're doing. So Allah is giving us warning that don't play with this rule. Don't try to find out a way out of this rule. So this is what Allah finishes with this ayah. The next ayah Allah is talking about, and those who are taken death among you and leave wives behind. So basically Allah talking about another relationship, another marital situation basically. So the husband passed away, so the lady became a widow. So what is the idda period, the waiting period for that? So as we all know that as Islamic law, and it is mentioned in the Quran as is here, that the waiting period is 4 months and 10 days. So for the 4 months and 10 days, the lady who lost her husband, she is not allowed to get married and do anything, she is in the waiting period, and at this time she is supposed to live in most of the cases, as scholars say, that most of the cases she is supposed to live in the in-laws house basically, and then after that Allah is saying that she is free, she can do whatever she wants. She wants to get married again, or if she doesn't live in the husband's house, go to her own house, whatever, it is all allowed in that. So this is what Allah is saying here. And also Allah talking about the word ma'ruf, and in this ayah of the divorce, if you read the Quran in Arabic, you will find this word ma'ruf few times. Even today we will find it twice in 2 ayahs. Ma'ruf means that is something good that is well known to everybody. There is one kind of good that nobody knows. Like suppose I'm helping a brother, nobody knows. I'm helping him because he's in a trouble, he doesn't have job or something, and he said, Brother Ronnie, please don't tell anyone that I'm in a situation, but if you can help me. So this is like a secret kind of help. That is also good, alhamdulillah. But ma'ruf means that when you talk to some brothers in the masjid, your action is viewed by everybody else, your action is judged by everybody else, that it is something good. It is well known to everybody it is good. If we come to pray in the masjid, it is well known to a good things. It is a good thing that you coming to masjid to pray in Jama'ah. So that is a ma'ruf kind of thing. So Allah used the ma'ruf here because when divorce happen, a relationship, an argument happen between husband and wife, it is well known to the family. The family comes to know about these things. The children, the family, the husband's family, wife's family, and everybody, in the neighbors, they know about these things. And what is the relationship going? So Allah is mentioning this word again and again. They maintain your ma'ruf. Meaning that at least whatever is in your heart, maybe you're not happy with your wife, or the wife is not happy with the husband, but keep it in your heart. Don't do such thing that people come to know that this is a dirty situation. No, maintain your ma'ruf. That's what Allah is saying here. The next time Allah is talking about that this is actually an incident happened in the Sirah, one of the Sahaba. So basically what Allah is saying, when a woman lost her husband, she has to wait 4 months and 10 days. But at that time, in the time of Rasulullah, it was very common because people used to go to the war and everything, and they used to lose their life, and then the woman become a widow. So if you like that woman, then okay, she doesn't have any husband now, she is in her waiting period. You can have your intention in your heart that I have a plan that I'm going to propose to her and I'm going to marry with her. That's fine. But during the waiting period, you cannot go and propose or make a contract at that time. And you cannot say to the lady, okay, look, I promise, as soon as the 4 months and 10 days finish, I will come and get married. No, you cannot do that. You cannot make any contract or promise to the lady at this time. But yes, you can give indication in a polite way. As Allah says, use some good words. In such a way, or maybe you tell to a family or friend that, yes, maybe you are in a waiting period, maybe Allah will do something good for you. If you say to the wife, maybe to the lady will understand, maybe this guy has some good intention for me, or maybe he has someone then who can wait. So tell something in a good way, that's the indication, but don't go like in an open promise or open contract that Allah forbids here. And Allah is saying that Allah is forgiving and forbearing. Allah is Ghafurur Rahim. That is obviously Allah, if you make any mistakes and Allah is watching all these things, Allah will forgive you, inshallah ta'ala. The next 2 ayat is talking about there's 2 situations again about the divorce here. Actually, basically Allah is saying that sometimes it happens, and it happens in the life of Rasulullah also, that you are in a marriage, the marriage has happened, but you haven't fixed the mahar yet, and you haven't have any intimacy with the new wife. So but the marriage is like maybe 2 family came and they already agreed on the marriage, and something happened, the marriage is already taken place, but no mahar has been fixed, and there's no intimacy between the husband and wife. In that case, if you feel like I want to divorce now because some whatever reason is this, at that time you can do that because the mahar has not been fixed. So what you can do, you can give the divorce and you can give a compensation. Compensation in the sense is a gift. And Allah is saying people who has more wealth, Allah has given wealth to different people a different way. So Allah is saying the wealthy according to his capability. So if you have money and everything, Allah is saying, Allah encouraging the people, don't give a cheap gift, because Allah has given you money and maybe it's a situation that nobody likes. The marriage happened maybe 1 day or 2 days, and within 2 or 3 days you are breaking the marriage or something for some reason. But at least you give something to the lady and give a good gift according to your capability. If you are rich, give a good gift. If you're not that rich, give it according to your capability, and Allah will accept it from you, inshallah ta'ala. And this is happening. But in the same situation, if it happens that yes, marriage has taken place and no intimacy between husband and wife, but mahar has been fixed. Suppose $10,000 is mahar, has been fixed. What you do in that case? So Allah is telling what you should do in that case. In that case, you do the same thing, you do the gift, but the husband is obliged to give half of the mahar, because the mahar has been fixed. So husband is obliged to give $5,000. If it is $10,000 mahar, so you're supposed to give $5,000 at that time, because you have taken the marriage is done, but still you haven't done any intimacy with the wife, so you are still allowed to give half of the mahar. And also Allah is saying here that if the wife wants, she can forgive. She can say, okay, that's fine, because it's something happens situation, and I'm not staying with you and everything. I don't need your mahar. You can keep your 10,000. What I'm going to do with 5,000? She can do that, and there's no problem in that. In the other way, also husband can say, okay, look, I'm not going to give you half. I'll give you full, because I brought you in this situation that is embarrassing to the society or something. I'll give you $10,000, and that is also not a problem. And then Allah is saying, wa antafu karibu lil taqwa, meaning Allah says antafu means when you forgive and forgo, like you are bound by Islamic Sharia to give half of the mahar, but you are being generous, and you are being antafu, that you are forgiving that your rights, and you are giving more. On the other side, wife, she is allowed to take half of the mahar, but she is being generous, and she says, no, I don't need your money, thank you very much. That's fine. If you do this, it is more close, karib to taqwa, meaning it is more righteousness. Allah is saying that if you do this, in a lot of places in Quran you will find this, that if you do something that Allah has given you right, but if you go over it because of your generosity, Allah likes that more. And that's what Allah mentioning it here. And Allah is saying that do not forget the graciousness between you, meaning Allah is saying between brothers, between sisters, and whatever, between the human relationship, you should always have the generosity maintained. You should maintain the generosity that you're giving people more as they more deserve it. Okay, and Allah is saying that indeed Allah, whatever you do is seeing. Again, Allah is saying that whatever you're doing about these rulings and everything, I have the full view. So don't play with the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These two ayah, actually very interesting ayah. See, we are talking about the relationship, husband and wife, and divorce and all these things, right? In the middle of it, Allah is saying, maintain and care the prayers, especially the middle prayer, the Salatul Usta, and stand before Allah, with wholeheartedly. And why this the ayah of the Salah came here? It's amazing, because and even after 239, ayah 240 again talks about divorce, something about the husband and wife. In the middle of this all ayah, Allah bringing ayah of the Salah and Salatul Usta. Allah is saying, look after all your Salah, especially Salatul Usta. We'll talk about Salatul Usta in a minute. But why this ayah is here? Because when a divorce happens in a family, this is a happy situation or sad situation. Obviously, it's a very sad situation, a frustrating situation. Nobody is happy. There's argument going on or something happening, and one relation is broken down. A relation is going to be broken. Allah is saying, maintain your other relationship, your main relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is Salah. Salah is the direct connection between Allah and his slave, right? So Allah is saying, don't forget about all these things, all this you're going through now. Don't forget to leave your Salah, maintain your Salah. And about Salatul Usta, there are different opinions. Which one is the Salatul Usta? The most authentic opinion, the most stronger opinion, as I say, the Salatul Usta is Salatul Asr, because it's in the middle. But there are, from Ibn Abbas, he said Salatul Usta also means Salatul Fajr. Why Fajr? Because Islamic way, the day start from the Maghrib. Like when do you do Ramadan? First Ramadan is when you see the moon, we do the Maghrib, then Isha we do the Taraweeh, right? So Ramadan already started basically. Same thing, Jummah night, what you say the Jummah night, then the Thursday night, which is the night of the Jummah. So he said the Maghrib, the first prayer, Isha is the second prayer, in the middle is the Fajr, then Zuhr and Asr. So Ibn Abbas said Fajr is the Salatul Usta. And another opinion, and is mentioned that Zuhr is also, some scholars say Zuhr is also Salatul Usta. But we know from the event, from a hadith of Rasulullah, very authentic hadith. If you remember, we talked about this in the Battle of Khandaq, in Battle of Ahzab, where all the Sahaba, including Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are digging the trench. And one of the day, Umar radiallahu anhu come to Rasulullah and say, Ya Rasulullah, the sun is already set, and we forgot to pray. I forgot to pray Asr. I forgot to pray Asr. And then Rasulullah said, yes, and I also forgot to pray Asr. And then he cursed the people. These people, he's pointing to the enemies, all the people, the Quraysh and other tribes, that these people has made us forget Salatul Usta. Made us forget Salatul Usta. May Allah fill their houses and fill their homes with the fire. So he cursed them because of those enemies and everything, they were so busy, they forgot the Salatul Usta, and that was Salatul Asr. So that is the strongest opinion, that Salatul Usta means that it is the Asr. And also in the next ayah, Allah is saying that even if you're riding or you're walking or something, and if you have a fear that enemy can see you that you're praying, or you have some intent, some apprehension that someone will come and attack you, you can even pray while you are on foot or riding. Okay, and but when you are secure, like when you are at home or something, remember Allah as He has taught you. See, this is a very important. As Allah is saying that Allah taught you through Rasulullah how to pray, and that's why Allah is saying when you are in a field that enemy can attack you, that time is fine. You can do it on foot and riding. And we also mentioned this even in one of the event of the Sirah, that Rasulullah sent a Sahaba. I think his name is Muhammad ibn Maslama. He went to Rasulullah, sent him in an expedition. There was a tribe leader. He was planning to attack the Muslim. So Rasulullah told this Sahaba, you go and take care of him. So when he went to that, he tried to disguise. So he saw the leader far away, that the leader is with his tent and some other people. So he was going in front of the leader, and that time it was the prayer of the Asr. So when he was walking, he was praying also with his eyes and everything. And this is what the ayah means, that because he is going to the enemy field, and if he stand there and pray like proper way, enemy will understand that he's from a Muslim and everything. So he was walking, and with his eyes he is doing the prayer at that time. So this ayah refers to that incident also. Now this 3 ayah is about, again, as I said, again about the divorce. As Allah is saying that this ayah number 240, if you remember this one, this ayah is a abrogated ayah. Meaning Allah is saying here, look, if you read, and those who are taken in the death among you, so meaning the ladies who has lost their husband, the wives who has lost their husband, for their wives is a bequeath maintenance for 1 year. But before we talked about 4 months, 10 days. Now Allah is saying here 1 year. So this 1 year ruling was from the Jahili ruling, and it was in the beginning actually. But after Surah An-Nisa came and everything, and that ayah, the ayah number 234 came, and this ayah is the abrogation of ayah. So this is one of the good example of the Surah Al-Baqarah, this ayah being abrogated by the ayah of the 234. And then Allah is saying from 241, this is a different topic now. So Allah finished that one. Allah is saying, for the divorced woman is a provision. This is a general ayah. Basically Allah talking to the Islamic government or Islamic state that, for a normal divorced lady, the government or the Islamic state should have, generosity and, give her provision and everything. And Allah is saying, this is how, at the finishing Allah does Allah make clear to His eyes. So Allah is saying, this is how I clear all the things between the husband and wife, about the divorce, about the separation, about the intimacy, about the mahar and everything. Allah is saying, I am clearing everything here. Now the next 3 ayah, this is actually starting a new topic, because as I mentioned before, the Surah Al-Baqarah is in Medina. It's the earliest part of the Medina, and this is the time the Battle of Badr is about to happen soon. Allah knows that the Sahaba is going to join the battle of the first time in the battle, the jihad for fi sabilillah, and the battle of Badr. So Allah is making them prepare basically. So Allah is indicating one incident from the Bani Israel. Allah is saying, have you not considered those who left their homes in many thousands? This is, some scholars say this is the incident happening in Palestine long time ago. Long time ago meaning like long time ago, about the time after the time of Musa alayhi salam. What happened basically, the Jewish were living there. That time they were the Muslim, and the Babylonians, they attacked the Jerusalem and in the Palestine, and they had to leave them. So thousands of people, they had to leave that place and go somewhere else. So Allah is saying they lived in thousands, and they didn't fight. Allah wanted them to fight and jihad, but they didn't fight. They were afraid of the enemies and everything. So Allah told them die. Now meaning here die means, some scholars say that they really got dead. So Allah made them dead, and Allah bring them back again in life. And some scholars say no, here die means that Allah took the guidance from them. So they were like wandering in the desert. So that's like, if you have no guidance, you are like similar to death, and then Allah give them a guidance again later on. So that's what it means here. And also Allah saying here, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, Allah is telling the Sahaba that you also been thrown out from your home. You came from Makkah. You have been expelled from Makkah. But you should not be like those. You should fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not for your home and everything, but now it is the time that you fight for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last ayah for today, and Allah is saying that give Allah, this is the first time mentioned in the Quran, in this surah also, that a kardan hasana. So Allah is asking us, and the Sahaba and everybody, that give Allah a goodly loan, kardan hasana. Now, why Allah saying loan? Because by nature human beings are greedy. So when you give something, automatically you expect something. Even if you give something in a sadaqah or something, you expect that someone give me a thank you, someone recognize me. It is by nature. So Allah is saying that if you give me a loan of what? Money only? No. Loan of money, loan of your action, loan of your life in jihad or whatever it is. Allah is saying, if you give the loan to us, I will repay you in more and more way. So, and this Qardan Hasana will come in different surah as we go through, inshallah ta'ala, we'll go through that. Allah explain basically that what does Qardan Hasana mean, and if you give it, what you get in returns of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll finish it here. Jazakallahu khair. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.